Welcome back to Etc. Podcast. I'm your host, Victor, along with my co-host, Mark. Mark, we're in a state of emergency.
Uh-oh.
This is very serious.
I think I know what this may be pertaining
It's
to.
you absolutely know exactly what it's pertaining to. For y'all that don't know, if y'all know me or if y'all care, I've been attacked. I've been ransomed. My privacy has been invaded, is what I want to say.
Yep.
And I don't take this lightly. And I want you to know, if you're looking at this,
Whoever's out there,
because I got your email, I got your name, and I got your phone number, then I'm on your ass. Okay. And if you know exactly who I'm talking to. Okay. For y'all that don't know, my Instagram got hacked in the past couple of days. All right. It's been a battle.
and
I'm fighting, and I had my moments, but I'm still losing. But I will win the war. He's winning battles. I'm going to win the war. And I know where you live, too, because it says, oh, there was a location attempt here. So you, sir, in Clearwater, Florida, I'm on your ass.
Ah, dang.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was here. Like,
Nah. If it was here, I would be driving around the city of Philadelphia till I figured this out. But yeah, for anybody that follows my personal account, if you see me post a new car, I didn't get a new damn car, okay? I wish I did. It's a nice car.
So if there's anything I wish I was able to get.
But no, I'm still with Jade. She ain't never let me down. I love her to death. Going up on 10 years with her.
Nice.
Pretty soon.
That's crazy, actually.
Yeah.
That is kind of crazy.
That's just,
'cause
she's
you got
still
it in,
kicking.
2016?
I got it when I was 17.
Okay.
So in the next year,
Okay.
when I turn 27,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it'll be the 10-year anniversary. You were there when we first
I
met.
I was there when he got that, John. That was crazy too.
Yeah.
Back in the old house too.
So
Wild.
10 years with Jade, looking forward to it. Who knows what we'll do? Maybe I'll take her on one last ride. Through a cross-country road trip.
It reminds me, there was an episode of a regular show where the old golf cart, they had to get it. They were getting a new one, or Benson was like getting this new like futuristic one, so they had to get rid of the old one because it was just obsolete. And I don't know what made it come alive, but the golf cart came alive, and they were just taking it around town, just doing all these like favorite things, and then eventually they just ran it off the cliff.
I don't know if I'll do all that. But
I don't think you need to do all that, but
maybe something similar. But yeah, my account got hacked, bro.
That's wild.
I got back into it when this whole when I texted y'all, I was like, yo, like be careful with my account, like don't open anything if it sends you anything. During that I was trying to get back into it, but the minute that they got into mine, they changed the recovery email. But then I got back into it, and like I was like, fuck, like let me try like remove them. But as soon as I was in the middle of doing that, it showed up a joint that they were trying to get in there too, and then they kicked me out before I could kick them out. My thing is Instagram. Why did it take me to jump through a million damn hoops to get back into my account? The minute I get back in, they got in like it was nothing and kicked me out immediately. Why didn't they get no security shit? So I think that's flawed on their part. But I almost beat them in this within a couple hours.
That's crazy.
But then I just told everybody to report it, and the count's down. But I'm in the process.
I just don't get like what do you gain from that?
Well, they're just getting people's info and like. Because obviously to you, you're like, yo, who would ever fall for the post that like my hacker made? But somebody's gonna be like, oh yeah, like I wanna be like you. I want that car or whatever. Like, and then just like send me your credit card info and social security number over Instagram.
And I can get you this car.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. But like, see, that's where I
$5.
understand a little bit of it. It's like, okay, cool. But again, it's just like, man, we're in 2025 now.
Yeah.
Like, how can you really fall for something like that? At this point, you're just gearing towards a lot of the older people who are just like, oh, wow, that looks so cool. Yeah, take my money.
Which is real. Cause
and it is. I hear a lot of stuff when I was working at the bank of just like how many times people would just like get their stuff hacked. There's one old bull who literally like got his information just taken away from him. And when we were hearing the story, we were just like, bro, like, this doesn't
is so
make
bad.
any sense. Why would you give them this information? Why would you like allow this?
They called me and they said that my niece was kidnapped.
Yeah, like some stuff like that.
By some bandits. And they said, go to CVS and buy $500 worth of gift cards and send it to them in exchange for your niece back.
They said Mojo Jojo as my niece. Like, I don't know who Mojo Jojo is, but he sounds evil.
So
it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I don't know where or what ever happened. I must have clicked on something I wasn't supposed to, some link or something.
Something, man. It sucks because you never know. That's the worst part.
But I was stressed for a little bit because I was like, damn, like I immediately like changed everything for like the ETC stuff and all that. So I was like, I don't know what's linked. I don't want.
True. You need to be careful.
I did like the 2-factor authorization and stuff, all that shit. I was like, yeah, I'm cool.
I guess that's when you really need it, because a lot of times you go on websites, they're just like, enable it, and I'm just like, it's too much work.
I gotta go to another app, type out a code. Right? They gotta text me. I gotta go call my aunt.
Yeah, I'm like, but I guess this is the reason for it.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm not even mad about the account itself. I'm mad that I have to start over.
Yeah,
and like I've spent a lot of time catering and like designing my feed to how I want it. Where I just don't see a bunch of bullshit and drama. It's literally just like all the food restaurants that I want to try in Philly and like art and like and like stupid memes. And now since it's a fresh start, like I've been using I just have like a temporary account for now just because like I got like 3 people texting me like, yo, I can't send you shit and like this is so depressing. I was like, I'll make a temporary account. But now since it's like, oh, this is a new account, it's just nothing but like Facebook just trying to, or Instagram Meta trying to push like,
I figured,
breastises in my face, and it's like that's not what I'm here for. Like, show me anime, video games, and food. Like, that's what I give a fuck about. But it's literally just like thirst trap videos of girls, and I'm like, this is not my style, bro. Like, this is not what I do. I just
feel like it sucks because, like you said, you already had your stuff that you like were following, and I feel like I don't know. I just think for me it would be like, dang, like you probably miss out and won't remember a lot of those accounts again. So now it's like you trying to remember,
absolutely,
you know, all that stuff again and trying to, like you said, get the feedback to the way it was. Like,
so
that sucks.
I currently, like, it's been showing me people that already follow my other accounts. So I'm like slowly like rebuilding that.
Yeah, true.
And they're showing me more and more of what I like. So I appreciate that. But initially it was just like, why, like, what person, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there, what person wants their entire Instagram feed to just be like twerking videos?
Oh, it already happened.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I hope I get my original account back and I can delete this one. But for the meantime, I just followed like my immediate people that I talk to every day, and I was just.
This is my thing though, like, because it wasn't a fake account, right?
What you mean?
Like there wasn't any fake account trying to be you. They took your actual account.
Yeah, this is my actual.
Yeah, so I just think like it sucks because, I mean, like you can't report it. Because, I mean, like, you can, but then wouldn't that mean that account just gets taken down then?
It already has. That's what I'm saying. I told, like, in the group chat, and I told, like, my sister and everybody, and, like, they all reported it. So the account is, like, doesn't come up right now. But they have this weird, I don't want to make this whole episode about this, but Instagram has this thing about you can ask for help from a friend, which is it picks out a list of your followers, and it's like you pick 2 of them. And they send out like a notification to them. It's like, yo, this person's out of their account. Can you help verify that it's them? And that's one part of it. But since my account got taken down because they reported it, it never got sent out. So now it's in this weird limbo that's going to end like today. The second thing that I did, there's another way of it, is that you could contact them directly. And then they send you this thing. It's like, oh, basically you know how you do like Face ID? Basically do something like that to verify it's you. So I did that, but that takes like a couple of days. So it might work, it might not. But we shall see.
Okay.
It was partially my fault that I got like caught up in it. I was like, yo, fuck these guys. I'm gonna make it. So I just started doing all this stuff at the same time. But I could get back in. It's just a matter of catching them when they're not paying attention, so I could kick them out.
Yeah. Just like 4 a.m.
Yeah. Bro, I deadass was gonna do that. I was like, yo, but their whole process of getting is so bad. Like they're like, oh, we sent you a code, no code comes through.
Yeah, I hate when you do stuff and you're looking for it and nothing pops up. Like, I don't know. I found that like I use it, but like the Apple like email stuff, like as far as like linking your email to the Apple and whatever like that. Just because at first I didn't want to like deal with other apps. But now it's like when you get the Gmail app, I feel like that just loads in so much faster.
Yeah.
Like you get stuff. So it just like sucks that like when you're looking for emails and stuff and some like load faster than others. And I'm like, bro, I need this like now. I don't have time to waste.
They're just like, oh, this code only lasts a minute and then it takes 5 minutes for the code to come through.
I'm like, well, there wasn't a code to begin with. And then it says, if it didn't send, do this. And then that one doesn't send. I'm like, all right, where am I at?
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, we can only send a certain amount of code. I was like, yo, this shit sucks. I was like, I'm over it.
Sends to you an hour later. You're like, well, I mean, I can't use this now.
Yeah. So if you know me or if you see the message from me, you're seeing this, don't respond to it. If I do get back, I'm gonna post like a video or a photo or something like, yo, like we're good now. This is me.
Hey guys, I know you've missed me.
Yeah, I never post, and you probably forgot you followed me in the first place.
My name is Victor,
and they hacked my account, but I'm back now. I just have the bull next to me, like tied up. I'm like, I took care of it.
I took care of everything. Don't worry.
But yeah, I was just more stressed out about like all my other shit because I was like the ETC stuff and so, like once I handled that, I took a deep breath. I was like, all right, we cool now. But
yeah, that could be stressful.
I don't care about
anything getting hacked in general is stressful. It could be the smallest thing. You're just like worried because of like, again, connection of anything else. You're just like, oh gosh.
Somehow, for whatever, 10 years ago, I put my fucking credit card on my Instagram account and it's like, oh fuck. But no, so everything's cool. But there's actually more important stuff going on in the world. It's a new year. Honestly, 2025 is off to a rough start for me.
Yeah.
Or the world in general.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw
a lot of terrible stuff.
I don't know if you saw the attack in New Orleans / the I think what was it, New York, where that Tesla Cybertruck blew up. Was that New York?
Tesla John was crazy.
It was in front of Trump Tower. That's in New York. Isn't it?
But I thought there was just 2 things that happened in New York. Oh no, I could be wrong, but there was a mass shooting. I think
that was New Orleans.
I thought there was something else that just happened. That could be the same thing.
I know that in New Orleans on New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. Everybody was partying, whatever, because the college football playoffs is happening right now.
Okay.
And there was a game being played in New Orleans, and obviously New Orleans in general. I forget the name of the street, Bourbon Street,
maybe.
It's like the popular street for like Mardi Gras and all that stuff. There were people partying obviously there. A guy drove his car up through the street and like injured a bunch of people, shot up a bunch of people, and eventually was taken down during a police shootout. And initially, I think the death count was initially like 10 people, but then it shot up to 14 or 15.
Wow.
And then a couple more injured, which is very unfortunate. And, condolences and prayers to the lives that were lost in the family.
Yeah.
To the point where the game was supposed to be played the next day. And they ended up delaying it even further because they delayed it. They moved it up one day because of what happened. And they heightened security and all that stuff, which is crazy to me because, like, obviously the lives itself being lost is scary and, like, why are people doing this? Like, there was no reason to.
Yeah.
But that happened during the college football playoffs, which is, like, a big thing. It's still ongoing. Next month is the Super Bowl in New Orleans. And Mardi Gras is obviously happening around the same, like, during that same week, if not, like, following up to it. So you kind of just have yourself like on high alert, especially if you're around there, like being in any crowd where somebody's going to pull up and do some shit like that. So that happened in New Orleans. And I don't know if it was the day before or day after the Cybertruck thing or same day. Either way. I'm
not sure. Yeah, it was very close though.
There was a Cybertruck parked directly in front of the front door of the Trump Tower and it blew up with the person that did it inside of it. And he shot himself in the head, I believe. I believe he died before it even blew up. So yeah, that happened. And they couldn't identify his body at first because the burns were so extreme and stuff like that. The explosion was contained mostly within the Cybertruck, so nobody outside was like affected really. But I also heard that Cybertrucks are basically like a death trap for real, because they haven't figured out how to extinguish the flames like properly or like well enough yet. And once you're like, if you were into an accident inside of it, you can't get out of it.
It like locks itself.
Yeah, which is like terrifying.
Yeah, that is very scary, and I never understood why that's a thing. Like, that's just so dumb.
Yeah, like I get like a protection thing, but like you also want to protect the person in the thing too and out.
I just feel like if there's a situation where I need protection from something outside, I would be able to press a button inside to make that happen. Yourself. Not my car does it on its own without letting me know. Like, yeah, that's the scary part of technology, I guess. But
just that truck. It's just that truck.
True, but what's so crazy? Like the fact that happened, not anything related, but close. Just with the idea of me, I feel like before that, I've seen so many Cybertrucks. It's so random. It could be
kept happening more and more.
Yeah, it could be either I've just seen the same Cybertruck every time. Because, I mean, obviously I haven't gone anywhere else, outside of Philly. But, bro, I swear I just always see a Cybertruck randomly now. And then out of nowhere that happened. And I was just like,
yeah.
What the heck?
I saw one. There's like a bunch of car dealerships up by my house. But, like, I saw one parked up on a car lot for that. And I was just like, oh, cool. Like, that looks like it hasn't rendered in yet. You know when you're playing a video game and like it's far away, so you see like it's still somewhat pixelated. You have to get closer for it to load.
65%.
Yeah, that's what a Cybertruck. That's what a Cybertruck looks like to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy had took his own life before the explosion. There were burns were so bad that he was unable to be identified, except for apparently they figured it out now because of a tattoo that he had that didn't get burnt up, and they cross-referenced his features to family members.
Couldn't you just like, I guess, like if it was his car, couldn't you just take the license plate, figure out the owner and stuff like that?
True, but you never know. Like, it could not be. It could be not under his name.
Yeah, it could be. It could have been somebody else.
Same thing with like the person who hacked my account. Like, I have a name and an email, but it could be a fake name and email.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
I thought usually. I mean, I don't know how bad the burns were, but I thought usually like teeth usually survive stuff like that, and they usually like.
They do.
And
well,
then,
I guess,
and they usually they'll check.
Know.
I've heard before that like at least when things happen like that at least the forensic people can at least have access to the teeth, like that those don't go away and they're able to check through the teeth.
Yeah.
But that probably would have taken longer because like
sure.
It's not like I mean I don't know, but it would have to find where his dental records are. Also make sure like you have to figure out his name first to get his dental records to narrow it down.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot more with that. It's it's easier when you can just tell from something easy on the skin or something.
Yeah. Another thing too is that I want to go back to the New Orleans thing because I just remembered more info that like pissed me off. Another crazy aspect, the guy in New Orleans, he had IED bombs in like coolers. So like obviously people were drinking and stuff, so it just probably was easy to pass up the like, you know, little handheld beach cooler in plain sight. But that caused a bunch of explosions too from what he was doing. So like that caused more harm and damage. Can you imagine the stress about that, bro? Like not only like, even if you weren't physically harmed that day, I could never look at I would never go to the beach again.
Nah.
Because I would be so mentally paranoid that one of these, like think about how wild that is. You're just living your normal life.
Yeah.
And imagine that camera just blew up.
That is wild, yeah.
Like you just
triggered
something that we use every week so calmly.
Same with phones. I mean,
it wasn't phone. I mean, if we're talking about the same thing, but the stuff with Palestine and Israel overseas, they like hacked into a bunch of people's pagers or like, and they blew.
Maybe.
And there's like supermarket like security camera footage of people standing in the supermarket and like 5 pagers just blew up.
You know what's crazy? All right, so I think I saw it on TikTok, but there was like this anime, right? And there's this scene where this character has like insane powers to the point where like,
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Bro,
Okay.
they were on their phones. Like, it's like downtown. So I don't know if it was New York or in Japan. Most likely Japan, because that's usually where they always take it place at. But out of nowhere, people...
Shibuya.
Yeah. Everybody's just like, phones start blowing up in their head. Just like explode. Like everybody... Shit. Or no. What it was... I think they were like, they had their phones. And then for some reason, like bullets were coming through their phones. Like it was just like killing everybody. Bro. And like, it was weird to the point where like... Everybody thought, okay, well, just like let me get rid of my phone, but literally, it was like that wasn't.
It was
the case.
Deeper than that.
Yeah, there was like so much others. I was just like, bro, that's just scary. Like, obviously, that's super fictional, but like something similar where it's like something everybody has. Just imagine that John just blows.
Yeah, especially if you just have it held to your head.
Yeah, like that's insane, bro.
Something similar. I just saw something similar like that happen in Chainsaw Man, where somebody has a crazy power like that and. It was like they like directed it at certain people, but still it was kind of wild because like it was happening to bad guys, and then one of them was freaking out, "Yo, what's going on?" Like he tried to take a hostage, and then he blew up, and then the girl's just alive that he took as hostage. So imagine that, like you're just chilling, and the person next to you just blew up,
blah,
and you just covered in them
like that. Blah.
Yo, look how frozen your face is.
I'm just stuck.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to New Orleans, that happened. A bunch of people injured. Very scary, very traumatizing. But then at the initial point that it happened, like the same night, the mayor, I believe, or someone, I forget who it was. There was the mayor, police chief, and the FBI involved. I believe the mayor came out and was like, "Yo, like this is like a terrorist attack." Like,
I think someone said something about the Tesla John was like something like that. I don't know.
So they were like, the mayor was like, "Yo, like this is a terrorist attack." Like whether if it was foreign or like domestic, somebody planned out to take out a bunch of people. Like that's deemed a terrorist attack, whether if it's a foreign person or somebody who's U.S. born.
That doesn't matter.
That's a mass killing that was planned out. It's a terrorist attack. And then the police chief came out, was like, nah. Or no, the police chief said this. I'm sorry, I'm messing this up. They said that it was like, this is a terrorist attack.
Nah.
Then the mayor came out, was like, nah, it's not a terrorist attack. Enjoy the city. Everything's fine. And then the FBI was like, yeah, like it's not a terrorist attack. And then they looked deeper into it. And
how can you just assume and say that without
like,
even knowing anything?
Anytime.
That's what you should take it as.
I don't care who you are. If you pull up with a car and you run people over, you put bombs inside of coolers and you shoot people up and fight the police, you are a terrorist.
Yeah.
I don't care where you're from.
Like, you could be just a bad guy, but like, I don't know. Cause I'm thinking like, yeah.
Like terrorism isn't just like flying a plane into the Twin Tower. Like is.
Because I was just thinking, like, if you watch like superhero movies, you know, like sometimes you watch Batman, and it's like people I feel like would do the same thing. You know, they're running around.
That's equally just as much as you're causing just as much terror as anybody else.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like that's what, because we look at that and we're just thinking, oh, they're just like a bad guy, they're just a villain, you know, like. But in real world time, I feel like if you do that, that's what's it's considered, you know.
And it's all perspective, you know.
True.
Because on there, it depends what villain you talking about, what they doing, and whose side you on.
We're not gonna get into that.
No, listen. Because you think about it, you know what? I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, don't do this. I mean, don't do this, baby.
All I'm gonna say is, and then we'll move back to New Orleans, is that we see certain people as bad guys, and other people see us as bad guys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
You know, I'm not gonna get too deep into it.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there because other countries see us as bad guys and we see them as bad guys. So it's all perspective.
Yes. I see what you mean now.
But the mayor was like, yeah, enjoy the city. It's beautiful. We had it under control, which is wild to say, which is they were literally hours removed from this explosion happening. You don't know shit.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, how would you just say that? That's just cool. Like, you should tell people to be like safe,
vigilant, go home, you know, canceled for the night. Let's figure this out. Everybody go home though.
Don't worry, guys. Intermission. Come back in 10 minutes. We'll have everything cleaned
Free
up.
shots.
Free shots on everybody. Come on.
Free beads.
Right? You get one.
But yeah, and then the FBI, whoever was coming there like in representation of what was going to like look into it, was like, yeah, like this is not a terrorist attack. And then like literally like a day after, they figured out the guy's name. And they're like, yeah, it's a terrorist, which will like crazy jump. But they're like, yeah, then we found an ISIS flag in his car. And then it was like, oh yeah, he like signed up for ISIS. It's like, yo, maybe I should have checked this out. 2, that seems too obvious.
You know what the thing is I think the reason why they don't say that is because they don't want to worry everybody. Because I've seen some movies where, again, like this is fictional stuff, but like something like crazy happens.
Yeah.
Usually in Washington, D.C. at the White House. And usually they're just like, oh, just say something to make the people say they're okay and all this and all that. And it's just like, to me, I'm like, I feel like that's worse. Like I want to know so I can prepare myself, not you tell me at the last second. And now I'm just sitting here like, wow, I could have been next to somebody that was doing that. I could have been planning to go there, but you told me it was okay. You know, it's just a lot of other stuff. Yeah,
but that's the kind of time where you stay neutral. Like you state the facts and you just remain neutral with it, where you're just like, all right, look, X and Y, Z happened. The perpetrator has been handled. We arrested him, or he's been taken down.
Yeah.
We don't have all the answers yet. We're gonna do a full investigation. Everybody go home. We'll figure this out and we'll give you updates as we can. But to be like, yo, like everything's cool, y'all. Hey, yo, pass that bottle. Like that's just New Orleans. Am I right, baby? Like, no, bro.
Yeah, it's dumb. I never understood that.
And then even then, it's like y'all should, if y'all gonna pick a side, whether it's right or wrong or not, like y'all should all be on the same page.
Yeah,
the mayor, police, and FBI. So that was kind of like poorly done. And then for them to,
especially the FBI,
and then for them to like flip their thing 24 hours later, it's like that was poorly done.
That's stupid because
that's stupid.
Yeah,
use your common sense.
Because I'm like, somebody like the FBI to tell me it's okay, and then you tell me it's not like 24 hours later. It's just like, bro, like,
so you don't know shit either. Yeah,
should I even trust you guys, the people who are quote unquote one of the highest securities for our actual country? Like, it's just kind of weird, you know, to really think about that.
But I find it crazy. I mean, obviously they figured out who the guy was. They did a bunch of research. But it's crazy to me how they're always like, oh, we don't know anything. And then it's like everything's been so conveniently placed everywhere. It was like the guy's name and then a flag in the car. And then there's videos upon videos of this guy like saying he joined ISIS and like all these other plans and shit. It's like, all right, what if I tweet out something wild today? The FBI, the police are at my door like in 24 hours. Now this guy's talking about he's like, yeah, I joined ISIS, whatever. And you let it get to this point, like what's going on? Yeah. And then to make it even weirder, people looked into it, and the guy in New York who blew up his Tesla, or the Tesla, and this guy in New Orleans both served in the same like army regiment together. But they both essentially posted like letters or videos or whatever, showing their disdain for the U.S. government and like how things are going. So it's kind of like, at least from what I was reading and the quotes from what these people wrote, it's almost following Luigi's kind of way of going about it, where they were like, oh, like I've spoken about the issues that the U.S. has in the past, and the U.S. or in the public in general does not listen to normal protests or like conversation. So I decided to go a violent route because that's what like draws attention from people. And then they're trying to figure out, I know for the guy in New Orleans specifically, they're trying to figure out if the guy suffered from any signs of like PTSD and stuff like that, which I feel like probably is partially the case. The guy in New York said that the reason he went about it that way for himself, he was like, I'm kind of bringing light to stuff that the U.S. does, but also atoning for the lives that I've taken myself, being like somebody who's from military. He's like, I've killed people because of the U.S. government or like the military, and like taking my own life was kind of like atonement for doing that. But for the guy in New Orleans specifically, because he like the guy in New York didn't take any lives, it was just his own. And New Orleans is like, yeah, cool, you can have your problem with the government or like have stuff, but like you took random lives. Like this wasn't like a pointed attack at somebody that you know is responsible for the stuff you have an issue with. This was just people trying to enjoy their weekend, or their holiday. So that's where you kind of lose me. Kind of different. Where like, again, still don't necessarily say like it's the best way to go about it. But like the Luigi situation, it was like, oh, I got beef with healthcare. I know this guy is the reason why, like indirectly is the reason why I was going through this stuff. So he went towards that person. This guy just drove his car into a crowd.
Yeah.
And then the guy in New York, nobody was hurt, at least not severely from what I've
seen. Somebody could have though.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like maybe he thought, because how did the car explode or
they bombs.
Okay.
He laced it, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, who knows? Like those bombs could have been way more dangerous and could have like took half of the building down, and something could have worse.
Everything was unscathed, and it's also like there was the guy in New York specifically was talking about like how things were moving forward, and like how he was disapproving of it. And then obviously there's kind of like, it was intentional, the fact that there was a Tesla that was blown up in the process, because Trump, in front of Trump Tower, is kind of, you know, for whatever reason, Trump has given Elon a lot of power and like promised him a lot of like responsibility. And yeah, I'm kind of tired of Elon. I'm not gonna lie, as a person. He's become like at first it was like, all right, cool, you do cool stuff. Like, you know, you got your spaceships and you got, you know, Tesla, and like it was doing really well, and like everybody was hype about Tesla. And it's like the more you become more vocal, we start to learn more about you and how much you kind of suck as a person. And now it's like, yeah, I can't rock with him. And then he's just been so openly like just pro-Trump and like, you know, have your own political stuff. But in this case,
yeah, true. I think he was cooler when like you found out. Like, I mean, he's been around forever, but like I feel like again when Tesla came out, he was more just obviously his appearance just like skyrocketed.
Yeah,
and obviously with SpaceX and all that. And I just felt like when you saw him, you're like you said, cool. And I think before you like knew what his political stance was, everybody was just like,
even then it's like, I know he's rich as hell.
Yeah,
and like I'm never gonna align with his like political stuff for the most part. He's also like not from here. Like he's not a U.S. citizen, and not to be like, oh, like I'm not saying it in that way, but the fact that he has this much political power right now as somebody who's not from here, I don't even think he has citizenship here. Or maybe he does now, but he's South African, I believe. And yeah, it's just like when it was mainly just about his product, I'm like, yo, like, you know, cool thing, you know, he's making like electric vehicles like look cool because we were just used to seeing like a dorky Prius and nobody was really rocking with that. But then you find out how he's making these cars and how he's using slave labor across the world. And then you see his mom go on live television and talk about how the poor people need to have more babies so his son can have more workers. And she like that was damn near a quote what I just said. That was not an exaggeration.
That's wild.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, like my son needs more workers, so you need to keep having children.
I'm like, all right, then you get in there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, mom.
So yeah, it's just like when it became less about the product and he like enjoyed becoming a celebrity, it was when the stuff started going downhill. And then him on Twitter is just like even worse because some of the stuff he talks about is weird.
Was just terrible.
Just how his I had to unfollow. I was like, I can't, like some of the shit you say is like, bro, how do you have this much money?
Yeah,
you're an idiot. And then you seen he has like a burner account.
I think I saw something about that.
I forget the name of it. I wrote it down because I specifically wanted to talk about this prior to this Tesla being blown up, but this just ties in so well. I'm gonna pull this up really quick so I can where is it at? Adrian Dittman. I saw it was trending yesterday. But yeah, I don't know if it's been confirmed or at least there's speculation that on all his like posts, there's this one guy named Adrian Dittman, and they think or they have confirmed at least, I'm not sure yet, maybe that it's him running that account. So like it'll be a photo of him tweeting out like him and his kid like walking around, and then Adrian Dittman replies like, "Oh, you're such an amazing father. You're such this and that." So it's just
that's so weird.
Yeah, or like in arguments, like that account will come and like defend Elon. So
okay,
yeah, it was funny too. Somebody noticed it's like, yo, he's been walking around with his kid over his shoulders ever since that CEO got shot because he's just like, in a sense, using it as like protection.
That's even more wild, to be honest, that you're using your son as protection.
I mean, that was just a like that was comment somebody else made, so he didn't really say that. But yeah, bro, it's like just make your money and stay in the shadows, bro. Like you suck.
I guess that's what people think, and then I don't know, like greed. They just want more, and they see that that's the reason, or that's the way to get more is to be in the limelight, never go out.
I feel like that goes with most people. That's why you shouldn't put anybody like on a pedestal or anything like that. As much as like people like to, whether it's actors, actresses, athletes, or whatever. It's like these at one point, when most of the time we're just regular ass people. They didn't have money to begin with, so they have their own backgrounds and beliefs. But how many times have you seen like your favorite artist or whoever they start to like share a little bit more about their personality? And you're just like, yo, like shut up.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
I didn't think. I'd be like, I don't think I want to follow you.
Yeah, like just shut up a little. You're saying too much.
Yeah,
I like you.
Don't
ruin it.
You're starting to make me think different.
Yeah. So
yeah, that happens for sure.
And I'm sure like it would happen to us. Like if we were in that point, like people started to learn about us, then like they would have their own opinions. So everybody is entitled to it. Everybody has their own beliefs. But if you're like a bigot, maybe shut up. But then they don't know they're bigots.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
So there's like there's a self-awareness thing there too, where it's like they don't know. They don't know that they're a piece of shit. It's like you ever met somebody that like stinks, but they don't know they stink?
Yeah, we talked about it a lot, especially when it came to that fan expo.
Yes. So like same thing. It's like you don't know unless somebody goes out their way to tell you.
Yeah.
So.
And even then you tell them, sometimes they don't even care.
Like, what are you talking about? It's my natural oils.
My natural oils.
I self-regulate. I don't need my body's pure. It's like
okay,
you smell like
you purely stink.
Yeah.
I tell you that.
You smell like pure shit.
I can tell you, you're not any better.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm cool off all that. I love that things are being conversed about more, and we're questioning things more, and people are bringing stuff to the limelight. The methods that people are taking to do them, I don't like. I don't like the idea of somebody who had nothing to do with the situation's life being taken. Crazy that these two people were both in the same military base. Somebody's tap dancing in the other room.
Yo, that y'all happened like 3 times.
Yeah. Either that or I got to go check on somebody. Somebody just fell off a ladder.
And I don't even know what direction. That's the thing.
Oh, it's back weird.
Here. Because, okay.
But yeah, like I don't want innocent lives to be taken. I'd rather it be people who are genuinely bad people, or no lives taken at all, preferably.
Yeah.
But and like that's in a perfect world, and we don't live in that. But you know, I feel like the Luigi Mangione stuff that happened. He was, you know, obviously taken into custody, and like they're still dealing with that. But since that died down, the conversation was kind of letting up a little bit.
Which usually happens, yeah.
Which, yes, so much stuff happens day to day that something else will take the limelight out of it. I'm so happy that the drones didn't do that, because everybody was like, yeah, cool drones, okay, whatever. And they're still up there, I think, and people don't care. But then to have 2 more people with essentially like within a 24-hour, 48-hour period, you know, kind of bring that stuff back up again. Again, I'd hate that this guy in New Orleans took a bunch of innocent lives, but this is just more copycats of what Luigi did, which is scary because like there's going to be more of it. And I'm praying to God that it's not the case, but with the change of office happening with the election and like inauguration days and January 6th coming up and all that stuff is going to be scary. So like if you're out, like be careful in general for everybody. But
no matter what you're doing, any type of like big event, you know,
like there's a chance that something could happen there,
depending on like the situation, what the event is, all that type of stuff. I mean, like,
I might just be locked away for the month of January. Guys, it's happening. We're gonna get out of here. I think something's happening here.
Yeah,
I'm getting paranoid. Mark, I'd ask you where they find you, but we gotta go. Okay,
true.
You guys can't find me because they hacked my account. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Peace.